So hello and welcome to Wednesday's Weekly, your weekly bite-sized briefing webinar, a collaboration between Action Together, the voluntary community and faith sector and the public sector. So today we're speaking to Lorerra Cannas from In Ingeus Pioneer, who's going to talk to us about supporting vulnerable adults into work. So welcome Loretta, and over to you.
Thank you. Hi to everybody. So my name's Loretta and I work for In Ingeus Pioneer. I'm the outreach worker, so I cover Rochdale, Oldham, Stockport and Tameside. So I go out and about into the community to find people that we can support. We also work alongside the job centre, and you've probably heard of Work and Health Programme, who are our sister company with In Ingeus that we work alongside as well. So introduction to Pioneer. So we are part of the growth company and we cross all 10 boroughs of Manchester. And we're hoping to support many residents from September 2023. So we are quite new, but we are up and running and we're going quite well at the moment. Each participant is assigned their own one-to-one support. So the maximum that a key worker will have is 35 participants, because we are quite hands-on and it's quite a wraparound support. So we want to make sure that each participant is given that time and that support. It's based on a place and train model, which is we focus mainly on getting them into work first, and then once they're in work, we then support with the health and accessibility to employment through that and make sure that they continue with a chosen career. The eligibility for Pioneer is for those that are economically inactive and over the age of 18. So for the eligibility criteria, it's people that are on universal credit, but it's the work prep and work focused only, light touch, or deemed as not ready for work or not actively having to search for work. Income support, incapacity benefit, ESA, training allowance, and those that aren't necessarily in receipt of benefits. So those that aren't in receipt of benefits, it could just be that the partner claims benefits and they don't. They could have recently fallen out of work and they've not applied for benefits, or they're living off redundancy or savings and they're not entitled to benefits. So this is where I will go in and I will go out and find those people. But those that are on benefits may come through the job centre. We also have the early, you have to excuse me because I've lost my voice, sorry, I don't normally sound this croaky. We also have the early access disadvantage, which are ex-offenders or those that are serving the community, ex-carers or a carer, care leavers, refugees, homeless people, people that have been in the armed forces, Afghan resettlers, Ukraine evacuees, and people that are victims of domestic violence. So they're come under the early entrance. So they don't have to have a benefit cap, if you know what I mean. So it doesn't necessarily depend on what benefits they're on, because these are, to us, more disadvantaged than those that are on general benefits. And also we've got the signposting the organisation that can refer them through, and people that aren't in work, obviously I can then, or benefits, I can then support. So the service overview is basically they'll get referred either by self-referral online, via myself or the job centre. Once we do the call, we'll have like a pre-chat, pre-screen call, explain what the programme is, see if it's suitable for them. They will then get referred onto the programme for a one-to-one key worker. When they're with the key worker, they will do, in the first 30 days, they will do things like CV work, CV prep, cover letters, interview skills, mock interviews. We'll get them interview clones. They'll have access to 2 apps, Hapstar, which is for your mental health, and they've got iWorks that they can access on their own with their own login details. That way they can do mock interviews on there, they can do interview questions, they can do a CV checker, They can also have hints and tips on how to apply for work, what to do, what not to do, sites to look at. They'll also have a one-to-one with our employment advisor, who will go through the job matching with them, how to apply for jobs, will support in applying for work. They'll also, with Sharon, who's our employment lady, she actually goes out and speaks to employers that are disability friendly and neurodiverse friendly. She'll attend the workplace, she'll walk around, find a feet in there. Any jobs that they've got going, then we can attend, promote people to go there, get them employers. We'll attend interviews with them if they so need, and we'll help them find the workplace. They can do a work trial, so they can do like a couple of hours work trial to see whether it's what they want, see how they fit into the company. They can meet the employer, which also then makes it easier for interviews with them. And then once they're in work, we continue to support them in a wraparound where we support the participant and the employer. So if there's any questions or queries with the employer about the participant or vice versa, they can come to us and we can step in and be that third party that supports. We have had a few interviews where we've had to go because of the employer's been concerned that they're doing really well in the work, but come lunchtime, they're not eating, they're not engaging with people. So we've contacted the participant and just said, look, you're doing really well in work, but the manager's got a few concerns when it comes to break times. And it was all down to the fact they had no money to buy food. So we bought him food, we got him lunch money, we got food in for him to make sandwiches. We've kept in contact with the manager to see how he's getting on, making sure everything's all right, there's no more concerns. He's now settled into work, he's now got a group of friends, and he socialises outside of work with them now because he's had that support where the manager's been able to come to us and just say, look, we have got a few concerns about lunchtime and breaks where he's been isolated, but once he's in the workplace, he's talking to people, he's getting his work done, he's doing really well, but it was just that concern that he had, and because we've had that rapport with them, we've been able to step in and stop it before it got any worse. So like I said, we do continue to support, and then with the funding, we cover all expenses to appointments with us. For interviews, we cover expenses. Any courses that they might want to go on to progress, we cover those as well. Once they're in work, we also pay the travel expenses once they're in work until they get the first pay. If they need any equipment for the job, like safety boots or specific items of clothing or equipment, laptop, if they're working from home or anything, then we'll provide that as well. So everything's covered, so they don't have to worry about funding for anything. It's all covered by us. I think that's about it. We have the health team. So the health team, obviously, they have to have a health barrier to come on. So it could just be anxiety. As long as they feel as though they've got it, doesn't have to be diagnosed. So it could be just like low moods, depression, anxiety. Then you've got things like ADHD, OCD, Asperger's, physical health. We have the health teams for physical and mental health. We also outsource support where you can get one-to-one phone calls from our health team as well. The in-house health team do phone calls, face-to-face. They all do workshops for things like confidence building, anxiety, and depression, sleep issues. So if they don't feel that they want to do a workshop where they can join in, the option for the one-to-ones is always there for them as well, and that can be done by phone call, face-to-face, or Teams, or whatever. I think that's about it for the programme. And then obviously there's my contact details along the bottom. So I cover Rochdale, Oldham, Stockport and Tameside. And then the outreach worker for Wigan, Bolton and Bury is Richard. Our contact details are there as well.